The Pokemon and Dragon Ball universes couldn't be any more different, yet have you ever wondered what it would look like if Dragon Ball characters were instead Pokemon gym leaders? Oh, you have you? Well, we'll be answering that question today by turning 8 of our favorite Dragon Ball characters into Pokemon gym leaders, but with a twist. Each character turned gym leader gets a type specialty that resonates with their character. Yeah, definitely gonna be pretty challenging, but that's not even the best part, because we'll also be tackling the Elite Four of this amazing Dragon Ball themed region, as well as a surprisingly strong champion. So sit back, relax, get cozy, and let's start things off with our first gym leader, and that's Yamcha. Now, I personally would have loved for Yamcha to be this region's surprise champion. However, aside from the few chuckles that would garner, I think Yamcha is probably the best first challenge in this new region. With a power level just high enough to cause new trainers to sweat, Yamcha here is the perfect first gym leader. But what about his typing? We could have gone with the ground typing because, I mean, just look at him. He's one with the soil. But I think that typing works a lot better for another gym leader in this region. So instead, we're making Yamcha here the rock type gym leader. I mean, this fits Game Freak's own system of making the first gym leader a rock type. They've done it about a gajillion times now, so what's the problem with one more? As for his Pokemon, we gave him a Bonsly to reflect his relationship with Puar, and his ace is none other than Rockruff. I mean, did you really think we weren't going to give the master of the Wolfang Fist a wolf-like Pokemon? Come on now, what do you take me for? But Yamcha doesn't pose a threat to you, super champ in the making. See what I did there? Which means we're off to our second gym leader, and that's another Earthling. Introducing Tien Shinhan, an extremely disciplined and master meditator. This gym leader uses his skills to help new challengers further develop their own, and his type specialty further reflects this. Tien Shinhan is a master ground type gym leader. Being grounded helps him further enhance his combat abilities and his ability to unlock his third eye powers. But enough of that, we want to know what his team is. For Tien here, he's got a Toadstool, Baltoy, and his ace Palpitoad. Now, at first glance, all these ground types might seem a bit random, but when you look a bit closer with your eyes, you'll notice that each of these Pokemon have attributes that also resemble, yup, you guessed it, a third eye, making them a no-brainer for our boy Tien. Yeah, we're definitely putting an effort in making these teams work, even with the type specialty constraints. Next up is arguably the strongest Earthling in all of the Z fighters, and that's Krillin, the OG from the original Dragon Ball series. Now, he's not just a bald head, he's got style, and also unspoken riz. I mean, how else do you explain him pulling one of the baddest androids on the planet? But when Krillin isn't pulling these baddies, he's at the gym running it as the normal type specialist. I feel like the normal type fits our boy the best, and with that, we gave him a team of Lechonk and Munchlax, both bald Pokemon who are kinda cute and decently strong, as well as his ace, Lopunny, because Krillin is also a Sim. Moving on to the next gym leader, and that's everyone's favorite Namekian, Piccolo, and man does he mean business. Sitting at the 4th gym leader means Piccolo here has a team of strong and equally defensive Pokemon. He's all about using his strategies and is actually a mentor of one of the Elite Four members of this region, but more on that later. For now, let's see what kind of type specialty Piccolo lands on. For this region, we gave him the grass type. It seems to fit him the best, and with Pokemon like Nuzleaf, Breloom, Eldegoss, and his ace Tangrowth, you can really see the synergy. But let me know if there are any other grass type Pokemon you think would have fit Piccolo's team a bit better. For now though, let's check out the 5th gym leader, and oh no, it's the Galactic Emperor himself, Frieza. This gym leader is known for running the town with an iron fist. He's as corrupt as they come, but he does run a legit gym and takes on his weekly quota of challengers to keep his rule over the town. However, things are a bit different this time. You see, the people of the town have had enough of this maniac, and they beg you to beat him as the first challenger in quite a long time, and in doing so, force him to give up his position as this town's gym leader. Who knows, maybe Zarbon can take over, you know? Anyway, for Frieza, his type specialty is none other than the ice type, and he's rocking a ice cold team of Weavile, Galarian Darmanitan, Glalie, and his ace Cetitan, who I think embodies Frieza really well, especially if we're locked into the ice type for him. Now, this is a tough battle, probably the toughest you've had, but you come out on top, tapping into your super trainer skills and pulling out some top tier strategies. You get your badge, and the gym leader, once known as Frieza, leaves town, leaving, hey, and would you look at that? The Ginyu Force to take over. Wait, what? Why are they posing like that? Moving on to the next gym leader, and that's going to be another big time villain. Introducing Cell, the perfect gym leader, or at least how he likes to refer to himself. He runs his gym a bit differently though. He likes to hold weekly tournaments between challengers to see who amongst them can survive a Pokemon battle or two with his junior gym trainers. And these guys look exactly like him, almost like carbon copies. But of course, you being the champ in the making and all, easily make your way to Cell and challenge him for your 6th gym badge. Cell here specializes in the bug type because, well, he's kind of a bug himself. And with that, his team is comprised of a Lokix, Levani, Vikavolt, and his ace Golisopod, which shares an uncanny resemblance with Cell's exoskeleton in the alternate timeline. But once you defeat that gym leader, then it's time for the 7th gym leader, and this one is definitely going to be a challenge. You see, it's run by a duo, and that's none other than Bobidi and Majin Buu, and they are running a house special. You see, if you win, then you get the 7th gym badge, and you can go on your merry way. However, if they win, then they turn you and your Pokemon into food for Majin Buu here to eat. Yeah, didn't know people ate Pokemon in the Pokemon world? It ain't all sunshine and rainbows. In fact, this duo specializes in the fairy type, and with that have a team of Slurpuff and Dashbun as their leads. Then for Majin Buu's ace, he's got an Alchemy, and for Bobidi's ace, he's got a Grimmsnarl. A team I feel like encompasses both these characters rather well. Also, the fact that Buu's Pokemon are all entirely food related, you just can't help but appreciate the consistency here. But enough of that, now it's time for the final gym leader, and that's against Beerus. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? You beat him and you gain your final badge. Lose, and he destroys the entire planet. No pressure at all. Beerus, being the god of destruction, I thought would find the dark type befitting for his excellence. And as for his Pokemon, he's got a Liepard, Malamar, a Thievul, Honchkrow, and his ace King Gambit. A stacked dark lineup with Pokemon that reflect his appearance and personality in some way. But there you go, you did it. That's all 8 badges, which means the Elite Four is up next, or should we say the Super Elite Four, because the next 4 challengers you have to face are all against Super Saiyans. I mean, come on now, you knew I had to put these guys in here or else it wouldn't be a Dragon Ball Pokemon crossover. Anyway, starting off with the first Super Elite Four member, and that's Trunks. Now, just because he's the first challenge in this final showdown doesn't mean he's a walk in the park. Trunks here specializes in the Steel type, and he's got a team of Lucario, Aegislash to embody his swordsman-like skills, Skarmory for how sharp he can be, Paparaja because I think of Capsicorp when I see this elephant. And for his final Pokemon, he's got a Zacian. Yup, that's right. And now before you start freaking out in the comments down below, I'm doing something a bit different for this Elite Four lineup. You see, since they're all Super Saiyans, I thought it would be cool to give each of them a version exclusive legendary. Is this broken? Possibly, who knows? Who cares, honestly, because their teams are still only 5 Pokemon, so they aren't that broken. Plus, if you think these guys are tough, just wait for the champ. Anyway, next up is Gohan, but not just any Gohan, Mystic Gohan, arguably one of the strongest characters in the Dragon Ball universe, except for the fact that instead of honing his skills, he decides to hone in his smarts and developed a psychic-like connection with him and his Pokemon, which is why Gohan here is a psychic type specialist. His team consists of Alakazam to embody his studies, Medicham, Gothitelle, Armarouge to reflect his explosive power, and for his legendary ace, we decided to give him Latios, and honestly, I feel like this Pokemon fits Gohan really well. I don't know what it is, but I can totally see Gohan riding on this guy in an actual Pokemon Dragon Ball crossover. But after that battle, it's time to challenge the Prince of all Saiyans himself, and that's Prince, or rather, the new King Vegeta. He's proud and loves a good battle, and because of his character and design and his most recently new transformations, don't worry, no spoilers here, but seriously, you guys gotta get caught up if you aren't. It's fire. We decided to give Vegeta the electric type specialty, and it fits so well with his team of Luxray, Electivire, Thundurus, Dracozolt, and his ace, wait for it, Regieleki, a reflection of pure raw electrical power. I guess you could have made the argument for Zekrom or even Miraidon here, but I think Eleki fits the Prince of Saiyans the best out of all of those legendary choices. But what do you guys think? Which brings us to our final Super Elite Four member, and that's the legendary Super Saiyan himself, Broly, and he's not quite himself. You see, see, when he doesn't get his afternoon naps, he goes berserk. And the best Pokemon type to reflect that attribute is none other than the Dragon type. For this, he gets Pokemon like Dragonite, Garchomp, Tyrantrum, and Salamence, and all these Pokemon know the move Outrage, and oh boy do they use it. But as far as his ace legendary, Broly here gets Regidrago, which is pretty awesome, considering Regidrago almost gets no recognition in any series. But not to worry, because you are able to bring him back to his normal self and single-handedly defeat the entire Super Elite Four team, which brings us to our final champion. And come on now, of course, it's our guy Gregory, and he's a mix specialist with a team of, wait, what? Oh, King Kai says Gregory replaced the title cards? Darn you, Gregory. All right, give me a second. Where is it? Oh, it's right. Okay, there it is. Okay, it looks like our champion is none other than Son Goku himself, the martial arts master who loves fighting and is always looking for a challenge. For this final match, you best believe we gave him the fighting type, which means his team is probably the closest to making sense, since we couldn't give every other single character the fighting type. I mean, what do you take me for, Game Freak? Come on now. Anyway, Goku's Ultra Instinct team consists of Infernape, because, I mean, it's literally Son Goku. Palmont, because look at it, it's going Super Saiyan, it's adorable. Annihilate, to reflect how many times Goku actually dies in the series. Mienshao, for martial arts reasons. Urshifu Rapid Strike, to reflect Ultra Instinct. And finally, the only version exclusive legendary that fits the fighting type category. And that's none other than Koraidon. And you know what? I ain't even mad at it. But that's what Dragon Ball characters would look like if they were gym leaders. But what about if they were Pokemon? What kind of Pokemon starters would this type of region have? Well, if you want to see some Dragon Ball inspired Pokemon designs, then you gotta check this video out next.